America is done. The buy now, pay later debt crazy cycle is the final blow, or maybe the debt craze cycle is the final blow to the U.S. economy and will be the straw that will break many camels' backs, or many a camel's back, coupled with unemployment on the rise, high inflation, climbing interest rates, a troubled border, and crashing housing market. Well, folks, the writing is on the wall. Time to get ready. Let's talk about it. So I got this article that I came across about struggling consumers using buy now, pay later services for everyday necessities, even groceries. We talked about this months ago, actually. And it says that a new study finds that financially vulnerable Americans are more prone to rely on BNPL to fund frequent smaller purchases. And I got to tell you guys, there's a lot of thoughts running through my mind. One of them being that this is part of the reason why I decided to join in with some other businesses, some other YouTubers, some other content creators, some wealthy friends that I have that ultimately are collectively working on putting together the tools necessary and required in order to survive this wave that's coming, this detrimental devastation that is going to completely destroy and wipe out so many. It'll include courses, it'll include training, it'll include workshops, it'll include one-on-ones, Zoom calls, live chats, the mastermind, the whole nine, folks. So I will drop information down below in the description for those of you who are interested. And there is a course coming soon, because at the end of the day, everybody is looking for the opportunity, the solution to the problem, and that solution involves making money, okay? Because the only way out of this mess, the only way out of this hole, the only way to solve this problem is to make sure you're making as much money as you possibly can, while also budgeting and saving and spending as little as possible, and making sure that the money that you do make and you do earn, you don't waste in taxes, and most importantly, find ways to make that money make more money for you. I've seen it, I'm seeing it, I watched it, I live it, and even till this day, today, I actually came across another instance and situation of this, and somebody waking up to a rude awakening of just that very situation and scenario, where perhaps maybe over the last few days they thought that they had some breathing room and they saw a way out, but inevitably reality set in and was, pretty harsh that no, you haven't. And in fact, without the proper training and without the proper coaching and consulting and the network of others who know what they're doing, you're probably going to fail. You're probably going to go broke. You're probably going to suffer a huge catastrophic financial setback that you'll never be able to recover from. Not at your age, okay? And additionally, you're doing this by yourself. You have no help whatsoever. The other is that I realize that as we go through this, there's going to be some terminology, and there's going to be some things in here that I know some folks just aren't going to know what I'm talking about. And I got to tell you, I hate it, but if you don't understand what's being said, then quite possibly you're most at risk, and you're going to need to find a way to get in the know, or at least associate yourself with those who are moving towards progress and progression in the right direction for your best chance at survival. I'll put the number up, 850-979-4829. You can text it. There's links in the description. The courses are coming, the mastermind's coming, and it says that Americans are finding it hard to dig themselves out of debt, and a new research report suggests that the rising popularity of buy now, pay later could push those already struggling into a worse situation. If you're already in a bad financial situation, can you imagine it getting worse? Financially fragile customers or consumers defined as those who have a credit score under 620 fell delinquent on a loan or were declined for a credit application in the past year were nearly 3 times as likely as financially stable consumers to use buy now, pay later, BNPL 5 or more times last year, and it's only going to get worse. And I got to tell you guys, if you're watching YouTube and you're clicking the links and becoming customers of the pitches and proposals and marketing and promotions to fix your credit, that I got to tell you guys, they're going to charge you to fix your credit, or at least charge you to learn how credit could be fixed, but not actually fix your credit, while at the same time you don't have any money. It's a terrible idea. It's literally like I would rather just set my money on fire, okay? Pissing into the wind is another term that comes to mind. Financially vulnerable households were also more prone to rely on short-term installment loans at a higher frequency to afford smaller, unexpected expenses. I'm talking about folks out there with secured credit cards and using the title pawn and other payday loan services. They're talking about you here, okay? The findings come as millions of Americans struggle under the weight of mounting credit card debt and stubborn inflation. With young adults already finding it hard to pay bills on time, it also raised concerns about how broad access to BNPL, which remains largely unregulated, could cause those already struggling to make ends meet to overextend themselves. Because the credit underwriting process and the vetting process is quite different. It is unregulated, and this is a great opportunity for them to literally like bend you over, pants down, fuck you in the end, which is what Michelle and I talked about months ago on a video. I'll have to make that video public again so you guys can see it. But it was about Walmart and them aligning with a firm, making this partnership, and basically coming after folks who don't. Those are the same folks I talked about in the beginning of the video who aren't going to understand what we're talking about, and they're banking on your lack of financial literacy, your lack of financial education, and your vulnerability and the incessant need for help. They're going to take advantage of you. It's unregulated, and they're out for blood, okay? They're going to get you for every penny possible. It says here, quote, "We can't dismiss the potential risks of overextension where frequent use of BNPL funding leads to excessive debt accumulation over time." Yeah, it's a thing. It's happening, folks. Buy now, pay later services, also known as point-of-sale installment loans, are essentially short-term loans with fixed payments. Consumers can use BNPL either online or in-store through select retailers that accept these payment methods. Major chains including Walmart, Amazon, and Trader Joe's, along with hundreds of other retailers, offer BNPL at checkout. Customers simply download the app of the BNPL service at time of purchase. Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, and PayPal are popular ones, and the service provides details of payment terms. Folks, forget buy now, pay later, forget credit, forget borrowing money, forget loans. You need to make the money. You need to have ways that the money can make money for you. You need passive income. You need solutions. You need additional streams of income. I'm putting links in the description specifically for you, okay? And these are no skill required. These are much like the guy standing in line making $19 an hour just to hold somebody's place in line. Simple and easy ways to do it without ever having to leave your home, and you can do it from anywhere. You could even do it from your smartphone. For example, if you want to purchase a vacuum from Costco, you'll have to disclose the amount that you want to spend, and the BNPL company will give you a pre-approved spending limit for the item. Borrowers can then make a payment through a virtual card in-app to pay for online or in-store purchases. And I gotta assume that most of you don't want to ask permission, not for how much money you need to buy something, but permission for what you could buy with the money, okay? Because it says you'd have to tell them what you want to buy. For instance, a vacuum cleaner from Costco. And if you're going out and buying a Shark vacuum for $300, they're probably going to tell you, no, go get that cheap ass Bissell over there for $75. It's going to break in 6 months, and then you'll be back for another one. It's a plan. It's a game. It's a strategy, folks. And their profit margin on that Bissell is probably higher than it is on the Shark. Unlike credit cards, or no, I'm sorry, the Dyson. It's a Dyson with the little ball. Unlike credit cards, which charge interest on revolving credit, most BNPL apps offer no interest loans as long as you break down payments over 6 weeks or 4 equal payments. And if you have the money to make payments over 4 equal payments, then why are you borrowing it on a buy now, pay later? The answer is you don't. In some ways, BNPL can be a great alternative to credit cards without dinging your credit, and most servicers only conduct a soft credit check for their popular pay in 4 loans, meaning your credit won't take a hit. That is, unless you don't pay, okay? It says here, and I quote, "There's an opportunity for some Americans who are undercredited and who have less than access to credit to get access to BNPL so they can pay in installments. Still, there are risks associated with BNPL. For one, longer-term BNPL loans can carry APRs as high as 36%. 36%. 36%. I don't know if you guys are listening. Can you hang on? Is this thing on? 36%. That's wild. That's crazy, okay? For instance, if you were to purchase a tablet priced at $544 using Affirm, a payback period of 12 months at 25% APR would accrue $76.45 in interest, meaning your estimated total would increase to $620.45, a hefty total similar to what you might pay if you use a credit card. In addition, some of the major BNPL players still aren't reporting to the National Credit Bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, so all of this will be for naught, as it won't actually help to improve your credit. All it can do is actually hurt your credit. And that could create a blind spot to banks, particularly if someone at risk of overextending themselves applies for a credit card down the line, which eventually they're going to have to begin to question and ask you about these open lines of credit that aren't necessarily showing up on your credit report, so they don't unnecessarily approve through underwriting a less than qualified buyer, which perhaps maybe at that point, maybe they'll go through some unique and strategic questionnaires that will ultimately back you into the corner of letting them know that you shouldn't be approved for the loan. Look, folks, the simple fact of the matter is that this is happening, okay? Not only is it happening, but it's happening for a reason. And that reason, I'm not going to waste time getting into it. You should already know. But also, they're making it simple and easy to access this through checkouts, through websites, through apps on your phone. It is what it is. I don't care what you do. And I know some people are going to make very, very poor choices and bad decisions when it comes to money, and when it comes to things like buy now, pay later, and when it comes to things like income and earning in their jobs. But I also know that there's going to probably be at least 1, 2, maybe even 3 people who see this video and say, Kevin, I want to know more. I want to be in the group. I want to be in the circle. I want to be included on these conversations. I want to be at the table. I want to be a part of the mastermind. How can I be a part of it? How can I learn more? How can I get started making more money today? And for those folks, then again, the link is in the description. The phone number is there if you want to text. I realize that some people aren't watching this on a device that could allow for easy, simple communication. So with that being said, I've included alternative ways to communicate if that's easier for you. And you can text the number as soon as I find it. I got it in here somewhere. 850-979-4829. Opt in, click the link down below. I will be providing you guys with everything that you need, and even with case studies and testimonials of interviews and bringing in others who have already done it, who are doing it, and can show you the way, so that you don't have to find yourself in a situation of needing to request permission from Affirm or PayPal or Klarna or whoever to buy a vacuum cleaner from Costco. Please hit the thumbs up for the video. It helps out the channel. Subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Oh, and if your YouTube channel is struggling and you're not getting views and ultimately not getting sponsorship opportunities, and you're not making as much money or any money, or you're not even monetized yet, then you might want to pay close attention, because there are simple and easy ways to get monetized from day one without even being a part of the YouTube partner program and raking in AdSense revenue, which is on the decline. But additionally, I can show you guys how it works and how so many other people are already using it now to this day to drive tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars off the platform every month, depending on their strategy, depending on their involvement, depending on how much time they're willing to invest into it. And notice how I said time, not money. They're investing time. So this is a simple and easy way to invest with no money and produce substantial returns. And I'm not talking about jumping on OnlyFans and showing your tatas and your hoo-has to make that kind of money. So link down below in the description. Send me a text. See you guys later.